when you are,
listen, no one likes Tottenham, do they? Let's be honest. No one likes Tottenham.
When I'm,
well, put it this way: when Chelsea are playing Spurs, I want Chelsea to win.
Really?
Yeah. So that tells you all.
Hello there, guys. It's Ben here from SW6 Lions TV. I hope you're all well. We have got a very special guest on. Lee, how are you, mate?
Yeah, I'm all good. Thank you very much. Thanks for having us on. Looking forward to it.
Mate, thanks for coming on, giving us your time. Really appreciate it.
No worries.
We're going to get straight into it. I'm going to stick you straight in it. Lee, when the Super League was first announced, what was your first thoughts on it? Because I was fuming. Disgusting, really. Well, disgraceful, wasn't it, really, if I'll be honest. But listen, I'm gonna say something now. It might be controversial or whatever, even though I don't agree with it. Arsenal, I don't think we're in a position to say no. You know what I mean? Because when they say elite clubs, Arsenal haven't been elite for a very long while. Like, do you know what I mean? And I don't think like Arsenal and Spurs more so could have actually been left behind in it, if you know what I mean. If it did happen, so I have a little bit of sympathy that we had to go with it, but realistically, when you look at it, it's total disgrace. It's just all about money. All about money. That's it.
Guaranteeing themselves, like all the money and not worrying about the other teams. And I think that's the worst thing about it all. And I think that's why I honestly think that they probably thought there was going to be a backlash.
You think that was?
Yeah. But never from their own fans. I'm pretty sure, Arsenal fans and Chelsea fans and Spurs fans who, were in it, would have all all backed each other, and that's been unbelievable. Even though it's been a disgrace, it has been great that the rivalry between Arsenal, Chelsea, Spurs, Manchester United, all the fans have come together on it, which is fantastic. That is the greatest thing about it. But overall thoughts of it, disgusted, really, you know what I mean? Yeah. But from our point of view, it told us everything we want to know, that our owner is just in it for the money, don't care about anything else. And it is all about, it's sheer utter greed.
Mate, that's what they're saying, that your owners were a big part of it.
Yeah, well, listen, Chelsea, I don't think were that much a part of it, because they don't need to be a part of it, because you've got an owner that's prepared to invest, to get the reward.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. Like, and that's what Chelsea have done. Whether you like it or whether you don't, the manager, your Abramovich puts the money in.
Yeah.
So he invests in the team and he expects results. Now our owner doesn't put anything in it, but was expecting to take a lot of it out. You know what I mean? So that's where it's come from. You know what I mean? He's thought to himself, well, I'll tell you what, I don't. To get to the Champions League, you've got to invest. You know what I mean? But he thought to himself, well, I ain't got to invest here.
Yeah.
And I'm just going to coin it in.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So even more of a disgrace. More of a disgrace.
They said Chelsea and City sort of played because they thought they were going to miss out, because obviously Arsenal.
Yeah.
I think Tottenham are probably quite pleased with it as well. But obviously Man United, Liverpool, they were all like on the forefront, and we were sort of like, no, I don't know. I think Abramovich would have had it anyway.
Listen, let's get it straight. When the Premier League was formed, right, it suited Arsenal, it suited Man United, it suited Liverpool, Tottenham to a certain degree as well. It virtually guaranteed these teams no relegation. Like, Arsenal never going to get relegated. You know what I mean? Like, it ain't going to happen, like, because of what it is. You know what I mean? Like, but what happened was then Chelsea come along, with Abramovich come along and put his money where his mouth is, and made Chelsea a powerhouse. And then to make it matters worse, Manchester City come into it. Like, so all of a sudden, 6 don't go into 4. So where they can guarantee the Premier League money, they can't guarantee the Champions League money. So they're looking for another thing. Now, I don't think that really affects Chelsea and Manchester City, because I think that what will happen is, listen, Chelsea didn't invest no money. Was it 2 seasons ago when Frank Lampard was in charge, because they couldn't, but they still got top 4. Yeah. Now, like, you know what I mean? Like, they've invested 200, you're virtually guaranteed you're going to get top 4 every season. Yeah. And if you don't, the manager knows he's going to go.
Yeah.
But Arsenal and Spurs, let's face it, and Liverpool to a certain degree this season, none of those three might not even get into the Champions League this season via the league. Arsenal have got another chance through the Europa League, but through the league, Arsenal, Spurs, and maybe even Liverpool this year not going to make it. So they want to guarantee that they can get to this cash. Now, don't forget, like UEFA and that are not squeaky clean in this neither. Like, I've heard today that they're going to be giving them wild cards to it all and all that. Like, come on, like, that's ridiculous. You know what I mean? So,
mate, the fact that it was going to be like there wasn't going to be a relegation or promotion. Well, obviously there can't be promotion, but no relegation. What is the point of it?
Well, that's what they wanted from like the American, American football, isn't it? Like, if you come bottom in American football, you get rewarded with the first pick for next year, like the best pick. You know what I mean? Like, but that might work in America, but it's never worked over here. And listen, when you go on to people about buying into things and all that, like, a little story that when Arsenal got into the first division way back whenever it was, like, they bought their way into it. They didn't get a promotion. They bought their way into it. Funny enough, at the expense of Spurs. So even better.
Yeah,
but it was going on back then. You know what I mean? There's always been money in football. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, so as you well know, and the more, listen, if Abramovich hadn't come along, Chelsea wouldn't win titles. It's as simple as that. You know what I mean? Like, Manchester City were in all my lifetime, I've seen Manchester City get to one cup final, and they lost that to Spurs. Nothing. But since the money's come in, they're winning titles. So obviously it does help. But ultimately, you've got to challenge these teams in different ways. You know what I mean? Like. And that's the challenge, not like, let's go to somewhere else and get there. But the other thing is that, listen, Real Madrid, the greatest company, why are they doing this? Because they've got no money.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like that's why they're desperate, because, Spain and in Barcelona and even Italy, apparently, are really struggling because of everything. So, they're looking to make more and more money. But ultimately, they should have, these English clubs have made enough money out of the Premier League. Come on, you know what I mean? Like,
you don't need
it's ridiculous.
It's greed, isn't it?
Yeah, it's sheer greed.
Going on to the next thing, like, obviously the fans have sort of won the war this time, but like, do you think it's going to happen again? Do you think there's worrying signs for football going forward?
Yeah, well, that's a great point. I don't think we've won the war, won the battle.
That's it.
And listen, I still say this now. How can I say it? When Leeds were having a go and saying things, we can expect that because they're not in it, or Aston Villa or whatever. But as soon as Chelsea come in there, and by the way, fantastic job from the Chelsea fans. Yeah. Because they was in it and still protested and spectacular, if I have to say so. That got them thinking, you know what I mean? Hold on a minute, this is one of the people that are in it, you know what I mean? Like, are protesting against it. Manchester United are going to protest against it today, but to stop the bus and then to delay a Premier League game at your cost at the end of the day, because I feel sorry for Liverpool and Chelsea, because both dropped points this week, because realistically their tensions were flying out elsewhere, like, you know what I mean? So. But I think Chelsea, what they've done and the protest was a big thing. I don't believe that it's all fan power. I think players probably had a big say in it as well. Yeah. And don't forget, a lot of these all these players were fans before they were players. Yeah. So there you go. So all in all, that was great from Chelsea. Yeah. But I'm pretty sure they'd be having another Zoom meeting and trying to think, well, what way can we go now and try a different route? You know what I mean? So
it's all about the money.
100%, because in principle, it's not a bad thing, is it? You know what I mean? Like, it's not a bad thing, but because, and I think if you'd be honest, the Champions League, I don't watch the Champions League, not one because we're not in it at the moment, but the group stages and that boring, who's going to get through, you know what I mean? You're either going to come first or second. Then does it really matter if you come first or second? So that it needs to be revamped as well, like, so, but I think there's plenty more battles along the line, you know.
Yeah, I hear you. Yeah, that's a great point, actually. Saying about football fans coming together, obviously, it's great. I've heard is there an Arsenal protest tomorrow?
Yeah, big one apparently. Like, you know, so
you're going to it.
Yeah. I'm down here anyway, like in the studios anyway. So I'm down this, but yeah, I'm definitely going to go. I think that you know, Kroenke's come out today, or Josh Kroenke's come out today and said, "Oh, we're going to invest and all that." Funny that, isn't it? Like, he hasn't said that for a little while, like, you know, but a little bit too late in my eyes. I don't think. I'll be honest. I don't think the Arsenal fans are going to protest too much about the Super League. It's that we want someone in cares,
really,
you know. And, yeah, and I don't think it's about getting someone that's going to spend millions and millions of pounds. It's not about that. You know, listen, when Arsenal are playing, he's asleep. You know what I mean? Like, yeah. So he doesn't feel the pain of Arsenal. You know, and listen, you can go on about Abramovich and whatever, because it's, you know, like ultimately Chelsea. He's there every game when he was allowed in the country. Yeah. You know, so he had an invested interest. You could see that. Yeah. When Chelsea lost, he weren't happy about it. Yeah. You know, and and I think that, he cares. Yeah. And you know, Arsenal haven't got, you know, and so I think that's what the process. And I think it's a great thing for Arsenal fans. Arsenal fans have had a fractured fan base for a very, very long while now, like, you know, where but all of a sudden this is united all the Arsenal fans, if I'll be honest. So that's everybody's singing off the same hymn sheet now, which is great.
Yeah, that's what I said. It will bring something good out of it, really. All this, but we'll go off that, Lee. I can't talk about Super League anymore. Hopefully, it gets off, because I can't stand it. We'll go into because so from an outsider point of view, I don't think Arteta's a great manager. Like, if I was looking from you, I don't know your views on it. You're not really keen on him, are you?
I'm not. Look, listen, no. I think he's done a lot of things wrong, a lot of things right.
Yeah.
And how can I say? I'm firmly on the fence with him at the moment. Like, do you know what I mean? Really? Like, and you know, if we'd have lost to Prague, that'd have been it for me. Like, you know, but I hear what you're saying from an outside.
I just don't think he's going to take you. Well, I don't want him to.
No. I get that, you know. And listen, the difference between Chelsea and Arsenal, if you want to be serious about it,
I think if he was at Chelsea, he'd be gone by now.
Oh, 100%. 100%.
You know what I mean? Like, I think I'm not saying you accept it, but I'd say our owners are so cutthroat and we demand it. And I think that's why we're where we are. And
well, listen, we was both when you got rid of Lampard, we was on the same points.
Yeah.
And look where you are now to where we are.
Yeah. Mate,
I don't necessarily say it's all down to Frank Lampard, but what it is someone. The trouble with Frank Lampard and Mikel Arteta, and this is the difference between Arsenal and Chelsea, that both managers are learning on the job.
Yeah.
And Chelsea
too soon.
Yeah, I mean, like, I think that, you know, 5 years time, you may see Frank Lampard back at Chelsea with a different animal. Well, we've got a manager at this moment in time, and we don't know. It might be good. Look, he shows some good signs and he shows some bad signs, but ultimately he's making mistakes on the job. You know, and to get a job as big as Arsenal is your first job. You know what I mean? That's unbelievable. So it tells you a lot about a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
So I think Arsenal fans are willing, because he's inexperienced, to give him that little bit of time. But after this season, there's no more time. And basically, 10th in the league isn't good enough. Isn't good enough for Arsenal. I'm sorry, I'm not being snobbish or anything like that.
It's not.
No.
Even from a Chelsea fan, it's not. You should be.
You know that. But there were. What is the frustrating thing for an Arsenal fan is you see signs. You know what I mean? Manchester City last season in the FA Cup final, Chelsea in the final. You know what I mean? To go and beat Chelsea in the final, and do it well. You know, like with tactical nous and everything like that. Beat Liverpool in that time. We beat Man United. We've beaten Spurs. and then we're going to lose to some teams at home that we shouldn't do. Can't break down Fulham, you know. So they're the little frustrations that are in there, like, you know. So and that's why I'm on the fence. You know, one day, you know, people call me a flip flop, and I understand that why, because 1 minute you know, I think yes, he's turned the corner, and then, you know, we can't beat Fulham at home, and not saying just Fulham at home, you know, because every you know, everybody has that sort of result, as you know, with West Brom, but we've had it a lot of times this season.
You got smashed by Villa as well, didn't you?
Yeah. So you know, 7-0 defeats at home.
Yeah, I was gutted when Lampard got sacked. I was gutted.
Yeah,
and I think we all were. But looking back now, you see that was such a good change.
Yeah, you agree with it now, don't you?
Yeah, because Tuchel's come in and you can see he plays a 5 at the back. I think Lampard missed a trick with that, but Tuchel seems to go 5 at the back. It's working. It fits the player. Like, we've got our back line is suited for a 5 at the back.
Yeah,
like tactically, everyone knows what they're doing. And you look back and like with Lampard, they didn't have a clue, mate.
Yeah, but a little bit of inexperience. And the other thing I always said with Frank Lampard, and you know, Jody Morris is in there, who's he could be well and great, good coach and everything like that, but he's still not. He's about the same sort of experience as Frank Lampard.
Yeah,
you know, you need someone in there. Look at Solskjaer. You know what I mean? He's got feeling in there, like, do you know what I mean? He's been there, done it all before. Yeah. Very, very clever. And I think Arsenal under Arteta have missed a trick by not getting someone with a lot of experience. You know.
Yeah.
You know, Tottenham, you know, have got Ryan in there now, and you know they've got I can't think of his name now. The fella from Charlton. Who used to be manager at Charlton.
Yeah, I know exactly.
You know who I'm on about.
Yeah,
he's got Chris Powell. He's got loads of experience.
Yeah, he has. Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So that helps. So you've got someone with lots of experience alongside. And I think Arsenal have missed a trick with that, and certainly Lampard did. And, you know, unfortunately, it cost him his job. But listen, all you Chelsea fans were all gutted at the time.
Yeah.
But when you look back at it now, you know, your Champions League semi-final, very, very good chance of getting to the final again. Yeah. Guaranteed probably like top 4. And then an FA Cup final. Ain't a bad season for you boys, is it really?
You think we're guaranteed top 4? I'm still not sure, mate.
Oh, I think that, you know...
I'm worried.
You've got West Ham this week, haven't you?
You got, 5:30 on Saturday.
Yeah, so like beat West Ham. You know, I think that I still think Chelsea just got enough to get in there. Like, you know what I mean? Bit of a blow on Tuesday, not getting the result on Tuesday. But, you know, like, listen, I think, you know, over 2 leagues, I think you'd be too good for Real Madrid.
You reckon?
Yeah, I think that they're vulnerable, if I'll be honest.
They're not the same.
So, you know, and Chelsea, like, have got a great chance there. You know, and let's be honest, you sort of gone through quite comfortably so far, what I've seen.
Yeah.
But before, when Frank Lampard was in, it was touch and go. So, you know, listen, Manchester City or PSG is going to be a tough one. But, you know, I think that, you know, the FA Cup final, Leicester, not going to be easy. Listen, Chelsea have had a good season again, haven't they?
We actually have. Yeah, we actually have from where we were. Exactly, that's it.
From where you were, I honestly thought that you was probably going to end up with nothing.
Yeah.
And now, you know, and is it all down to a manager? Well, a decision. I think it is. I think you've got to be ruthless.
Lee, sometimes these players, mate, they can turn on any manager. It's rosy now. You watch next year, all the same, and it'll be gone. It'll be another. Well,
exactly, like, you know, and listen, Spurs have been ruthless with Mourinho. You know what I mean? So
they have, mate. Yeah, I didn't expect. Yeah.
So there is that ruthlessness, and you know, unfortunately, Arsenal have not. I do think this though, and I'm sorry to bring it up, but if we hadn't beaten you on Boxing Day, I honestly think that Arteta was in real trouble.
Yeah,
that was an unbelievable result, performance, and everything, and that sort of pushed us to go on to a good run. And so I think that saved him for and that was like, you know, Smith Rowe coming into the side, was forced into a few changes, and so it's your fault if Arteta becomes good, like, you know?
Yeah, no, we love it, mate. We love it. Lee, if you had Mount and Saka in front of you and you could sign one of them, who would you pick?
Oh,
I'm biased.
yeah. Well, so am I. But I'll tell you what, Mason Mount is impressing me more this season than he ever done last. I thought he was a very, very good player. And that's a difficult one. I'm going to say Saka because he's at Arsenal and he's probably a little bit younger. How old is Mason Mount? 20?
21, yeah,
21.
Yeah.
You know, Saka's 19, so he's got a couple of years on him and all that. Listen, I think
Mason Mount's going to be the next captain at Chelsea.
Yeah, do you know what? I think this season in particular, he's really impressed me. I have to say that when I've watched Chelsea, he's been their best player. Saying about him, he seems like a nice lad as well. I've got to say that, and so does Saka. Saka seems to be very grounded as well.
Yeah, the young kids do that, didn't they?
Listen, you keep him, and I'm very happy to have Saka. But I'll tell you something now: if they were to swap, I don't think none of us would be disappointed. So
no, we're keeping mate.
But listen, I'm happy with Saka because he's come through the ranks of Arsenal, as has Mason Mount with you. So
we love it. They just show something different to the other players.
Yeah. I'm a big Saka fan. He's a very, very, very good player.
Oh, yeah,
very good player.
Yeah, I agree with you. He's good. Lee, last question for you, mate. I know you gave us a lot of your time.
No problem.
Okay, mate. Right now, so sitting in now, who's the bigger club?
Between who?
Chelsea and Arsenal. This gets
listen,
bandied around a lot on
Chelsea will never be as big as Arsenal as a club. But what there's a difference between bigger and successful.
Exactly. That's when the question get asked. There's two.
Yeah, there's two sides to the story. Like
you've got a bigger
Arsenal will always who knows what it'll be like in 10, 15 years time. That's a different thing. Yeah. But at this moment in time, you still got Man United didn't win the league for 20 years, but they were still the biggest club in the country. Listen, in my lifetime, you had Arsenal and Tottenham, and Chelsea were really never really in it, if I'll be honest, from a London point of view, But it's I'm going to say Arsenal because I think it's a bigger fan base and everything like that. But as far as
success and all that,
I'll tell you what, I think if you was to ask the question elite, then I would turn around and say that Chelsea are more of an elite club than Arsenal at this moment in time. But to become a bigger club than Arsenal, you've still got a long, long way to go from that. And that's not me being biased. You know what I mean? Chelsea is getting bigger and bigger. And listen, the thing is,
You've done it in Europe, though, Lee.
No, we haven't done it in Europe, but Notts Forest have done it in Europe, and they've done it twice. Does that mean that they're a bigger club than Chelsea?
No.
So I've always got an answer for you. Don't worry about that.
That's a good point. I agree with you. I know, your fan base is big.
Listen, at the end of it, how can I say this? If you'd have turned around to me and said, even in 2003, if you'd have come to me and said Chelsea win the Champions League before Arsenal, I'd have laughed at you.
Yeah, exactly.
But you did, you know what I mean? As it happens, Chelsea actually stopped us winning it in 2004 when you beat us at them, because we would have won it. We was by far the best team in Europe and in the country at that time.
You should have won that game.
Bloody Bridge, Wayne Bridge.
Yeah, Wayne Bridge. Yeah.
So ruined my bloody week. That did, So that was a big blow for us. That was. So I think that Chelsea stopped us winning it definitely that year. So I would say that I would definitely say, if you was to ask me who's the elite club at the moment, Chelsea, without a shadow of a doubt. I think that since Abramovich has come over, someone told me the other day that Chelsea have won the most trophies. So since Abramovich took over, from the day Abramovich come here, I think Chelsea have won the most trophies in England. You know what I mean? So, and listen,
The only way I can put that into context is Manchester City bigger than Manchester United?
No.
And the answer is no. You know what I mean? And that's the same with Chelsea and Arsenal. Like, you know what I mean? That's how I see it.
Yeah. No, Lee, love it, mate. Love your time. Thanks for your time.
No worries, like, you know, I really enjoy it, like, you know, and good luck for the rest of the season, like, you know.
Yeah, I would say the same soon, didn't we?
Oh yeah, it's a couple of Wednesdays away. I think it's on a Wednesday night, isn't it? So it's not too far away, like, you know.
Yeah,
so
to the bridge as well.
Listen, also Chelsea, Stamford Bridge is one of the best away grounds to go to now. Like, great atmosphere there. Like,
really?
so missing out this year. Always a great place to go to. Chelsea, great atmosphere.
Yeah,
never really do that well there, but it's still a great atmosphere and a great club to go to. And yeah, so
the Arsenal away games are pretty good, to be fair.
Yeah, I've got nothing against Chelsea. You know what I mean? Back in the day, you know, I remember being at Highbury when Chelsea come back into the league and drew 1-1. Kerry Dixon got a goal, like, you know, and you had the whole of the clock end and all that, like, you know. So yeah, so
the rivalry with Arsenal and Tottenham is more than Chelsea and Tottenham.
Yeah,
it's getting close.
Yeah.
Like when you are,
no one likes Tottenham, do they? Let's be honest. No one likes Tottenham.
When I've asked a few Tottenham fans, they say that some have said Chelsea, some have said Arsenal. Like what's bigger? Like what rivalry is bigger? So I think it's like not obviously balancing out. It'll always be a bit more with you.
Well, put it this way: when Chelsea are playing Spurs, I want Chelsea to win.
Really?
Yeah. So that tells you all.
Yeah,
that tells you.
I'm the same as well.
When Hazard scored that goal in the 2-2, I was jumping as much as going as mad as if Arsenal scored.
I was shitting myself when they were in the final a few years ago. Cool, I'm glad Liverpool.
Yeah, you beat them though, like, yeah. So League Cup final. I wanted Chelsea to win, like, there. So there you go, like, you know. So.
And we hope City win on the weekend as well.
Oh, without a shadow of doubt, like, you know what I mean? Shadow of doubt. Come on, City. Man, a City fan for the weekend.
Yeah, I'm a City fan. Lee, cheers so much for talking to us, mate.
No problems at all, like, you take care, like, yeah.
Hopefully have you on again soon, mate.
Yeah, whenever, like, yeah, no problems, like, yeah.
Love it, mate.